Hey guys, how you guys doing today? And give everybody a few minutes to get loaded on here. If you can invite your followers, that'd be fantastic. I'm gonna do a little 7-day action plan today. So just continuing on what we talked about the other day about starting simple, getting up earlier, walking, and then hitting up that protein smoothie. I've had a lot of questions that people are asking me just how to get started. So again, remember, this whole thing is about rebuilding the body and the mind after 40 years old, or 40 years and over and stuff. So some of this might be a little bit basic for some of you. For some of you guys, this is gonna be pretty challenging. So keep that in mind as we go through it, and I'll give you ideas how to make it tougher. If you have any questions along the way, go ahead and ask and stuff. Where's everyone coming in from today? I'm out here in Ottawa, Canada. Hey, Lagaria, how you doing? Where are you coming in from? C. How you doing? Awesome. It's lunchtime here. Just finishing working on some stuff. Thursdays I work from home, and I do a little ritual, so it took a little longer today. I was working on a few extra things and stuff. And if you looked at if you watched the replay on this, you see the start. I actually show my journal. That's something I work with every day. Most mornings I get up at 4:30 in the morning. Arbeck Ryder, how you doing? Thanks for joining. VCF Lover, Mary BIA, thanks for joining, guys. How you guys doing today? Awesome. So yeah, so every morning most mornings I started at 4:30 in the morning because I have to be somewhere in my gym for 6 to teach a class. So I like to take an hour every morning. And hey, Nevada, what's going on? I've been to Las Vegas one time. I'm still paying that off. It was a great time. A long time ago. Should go back soon. Yeah, I know, eh? Isn't that the story you hear all the time? Do you live near Vegas? No, Reno, yeah, another gambling place. What's it like living in a place with gambling all around you and stuff like that? Are you just bored by it, or are you part of the industry, or? I always wonder what it'd be like to live in that kind of town. Other side of the state? Oh, okay. But Reno has gambling as well too, doesn't it? Craps dealer, oh awesome. So you've seen a lot of crazy shit. A lot of guys win big and a lot of guys lose everything. Hey, that's pretty sad and pretty tough to watch after a while, I guarantee. A lot of stories come out of that for sure. Yeah, I like it. That's why we have a casino up here in Sportsbook Rider. Oh, okay, cool. We have a casino here just on the other side of the river, and I don't go because I like it too much, so I don't want to do that. Jay DeLeon, thanks for joining. How you guys doing? Awesome. Yeah, different world, I imagine, in the casinos, eh? Burned out, yeah. A lot of go. What do you do now? Alcohol, cigarettes, and gambling. Yeah, that's a trifecta, all right, eh? Yeah, that'll take some years off your life, for sure. Freelance writer, excellent. Oh, for sports, is that what you said? Yeah, cool. So you work from home? Entertainment, cool. Right on, good. GD, Cernia, Jam Bam join. Thanks for joining. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Well, listen, so I'll go through the steps that I want everyone to start looking at, and how to incorporate some basic stuff. And again, the whole idea is just to get this started, not making it too, thanks for the hearts, guys, not to make it too intimidating and not overbearing and stuff. Listen, for a lot of people restarting and rebuilding, it's been a long time. I deal with a lot of clients in my facility that are all, mostly over 40 and 50, 60, 100 pounds overweight, or just so weak and, up and down the stairs kicks their ass and stuff. So the whole point of this is to build people up and not break people down. I find people try to get started, try to go too hard, especially as guys. We're 100 miles an hour or nothing, so we need to calm that shit down a little bit. So the first thing I want to talk about is go back to the walking. I want to see people walk every day, Monday through Sunday. 51 here, but always fatigued. Yeah, I hear you. I'm 47. And I'm in the industry, and I have to work on my energy levels and stuff. So the key is about building up those energy reserves. Your body will get used to what you put it through, so that anytime you step out of that, you're going to feel it. So if you don't do a lot of physical activity, and then all of a sudden you're required to do it, it's going to kick your ass. Your body's going to maintain the energy it needs based on what you put it through every day. So we need to change that. We need to push that envelope every day, so you start building up energy reserves and capabilities and stuff. So every day, Monday through Sunday, I recommend getting up a half an hour earlier than you normally do, and start with a 20-minute walk. I don't care how fast it is, how slow it is. Keep it simple. Go outside the door, turn left for 5 minutes, and then turn around and come back. And start doing that every day. And once you get used to that, once you get a week or so of that, and you start feeling a little more energetic and stuff, and things are feeling good, what I want you to do is I want you to stop every 5 minutes and do 5 push-ups and 5 bodyweight squats. That's it. If you can't do push-ups off your toes, do them off your knees. If you can't do squats all the way down, go as low as you can, or sit down on something. We call it a box squat. Real big Gip, how you doing? Thanks for joining. So every 5 minutes, a little timer, or use your iPhone stuff so it goes off. 5 push-ups, 5 squats. I don't care how long it takes you, and get back up and keep walking. When you get to that halfway point of that walk, if it's a 20-minute walk, 10 minutes, turn around, come back, but every 5, stop and hit those 5 push-ups and those 5 squats. Hey, Britt. And I only want you to do that on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The reason being is that, for a lot of guys starting back, they haven't done anything in a long time, it's gonna have some muscle soreness and stuff. So we want to get past that, and the walking in between the next days is going to loosen that up. And you'd be surprised how a couple sets of 5 push-ups and 5 squats will take a lot out of you. You might even have trouble doing 5. You build from there. If you're fitter and you can do more, do a longer walk and double the push-ups, double the squats, do 5, 10, 15. It's up to you, but do something that's challenging but doable, and keep that walk going. So that'd be Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then on the Tuesday, Thursday, just the walk. A little milder, let the body keep healing and stuff. So that's fantastic. And then when you get back, again, I'm always hoping you do this in the morning. If you can't do it in the morning, get it done as early as possible in the day. Lunch hour is a great time. I got one of my clients, he at lunch hour, he breaks out. He's got a high pressure job. He actually leaves his office and goes out for a walk and comes back 25 minutes later and feels fantastic. When he started, 6 minutes was all he could do. So he built up from that. But what's really cool is when he comes back from that fresh air and that activity, the clarity he has for the afternoon is fantastic, and his lower back issues are a lot better because walking works on some mild stimulation and good blood flow, which actually loosen things up overall. And then when you get back, especially if you're doing it in the morning, I want you to hit that smoothie we talked about. Thanks for the hearts, I really appreciate it. The smoothie, very simple. For guys, 50 grams of protein, usually about 2 scoops of powder with half a cup of oatmeal. That'll give you another 30, 35 grams of protein. Blend that up in water. I like to keep it simple. I'm not a big fan of milk. Blend it up and drink it, and away you go. You'll find that your energy level will be pretty good. The smoothie, you didn't hear about the smoothie? Yeah, so in the morning, get a blender going. Get 2 scoops of whey protein, whatever flavor that you like. Typically, a scoop of whey protein will have 25 to 30 grams of protein. Throw a couple of those into about 8 ounces of water and a half a cup of raw oatmeal. And the raw oatmeal, you don't want to cook it. You want to throw it in there so it blends up nice, gives it some thickness. But those carbs in that oatmeal form are slow release. They'll give you good steady energy, and with the protein for the muscles and stuff, it'll start giving you energy and speed up your metabolic rate. Also good for hormone production. We need protein to build testosterone and maintain testosterone, so big factor overall. So if you like chocolate, do chocolate. If you like vanilla, do vanilla. Find a flavor you like, blend it up real quick, and drink it down. Add more water if you want it thinner, less water if you want it thicker. But the whole point is when you get to the blender, you blend it up and you can drink it back pretty quick overall. That'll make a big difference. Do that every day, and what you'll see too is that your energy from the morning into the afternoon will be much better and better sustained. You won't get that bonk it, and it's 10, 11 o'clock. A lot of people run into that. Absolutely helps with energy, because what happens is when you start the body with some protein, a lot of the energy processes start and maintains good health of your organs and your muscles. But also those carbs in that complex form, like the raw oatmeal, take longer to break down in the digestive system, so they'll release the sugars into the bloodstream at a slower, more sustained rate, so you actually have more energy throughout the day and stuff. Whereas if you do the typical quick cereal, fast and easy carbs, or donuts or muffins with coffee and stuff, is you get a quick rush of carbs in your bloodstream, a big spike, so you'll get good energy from that, but then all of a sudden you're going to get a big drop, because when too much sugar hits the bloodstream, what happens is that your body has to pull all that sugar out, and when that happens, that's when you feel tired, a little weird and stuff, or you start the cravings again. You want to get back those sugars again. So more sustained. 2 scoops of protein, half a cup. Yeah, that drop happens a lot, especially if you were big into the caffeine and the nicotine and stuff, right? Big punch of energy, and then all of a sudden it drops, you feel like a bag of shit, and then what's the next thing you do? You go back to those sources again. So getting a steady flow of energy first thing in the morning makes a big difference. You can add fruit, you can do some different things, but again, I'm trying to make this nice and simple for everyone to start with. So 2 scoops of whey for the guys. Yeah, huge into caffeine. You know what? I'm a big caffeine fan as well. Like I tend to drink a cup of coffee in the morning, black, and I usually put some coconut oil in there. I try to go with a really good quality coffee. I drink Caveman coffee. I think they're not far from you guys out in Nevada over there. And they just have a really, really good quality caffeine coffee that's just, well, the way it's treated, it's roasted, harvested, really, really good quality of caffeine, and the way it hits the body is really different compared to a lot of commercialized caffeines. And by adding some good fats to it, you can add butter or you can add coconut butter. That's what I like to use. I just make it hot. Coconut oil for flavor, it gives it a little bit of a silky flavor. You taste a little bit of coconut if you go with unflavored, unsweetened. That's what I go with. But it just gives the coffee a nice texture, a nice smooth texture overall. If you were to take that coffee and throw that coconut oil and throw it in a blender and blend it, it would actually look like you added cream to it. It would brown up nice. But that's a really nice way to start the morning too, after that smoothie. So I tend to often do that. I have my, I never drank coffee till I started doing this. So I have my coffee machine set for 4 in the morning, so when I come down at 4:30, coffee's ready. I add the coconut butter to it, and away I go. So it makes a big difference. And the way that caffeine and that fat hits your body, the energy is good, but also your mental focus is really, really nice and sharp. And because of the quality of the coffee and that fat source, again, you get that nice energy mentally, and you don't get that crash. So really, really nice overall. If you don't drink coffee, I mean, you can take caffeine and other sources and stuff. The problem with caffeine is that it usually comes in coffee with a lot of sugar. I've got a great start on the coffee routine. There you go. So just clean it up. Are you throwing milk and sugar in there right now? That's the one thing people find just going with black coffee. They don't like the taste, or it's too strong. So that's why they'll add milk and sugar to it. But you know, the sugar itself and the sugar in the milk, again, quick sugar and then drop. Flavor creamer, not a bad idea overall, but give that coconut butter a try. I'm telling you, I think you'll be quite surprised. And how it feels is what's really nice as well too. So the taste and the smoothness is really nice, but just that quality fat with the caffeine coming into the system, the way it's going to hit you mentally and stuff like that, just for your brain activity and motor neuron activity, it's really, really nice and smooth. You just feel up, and you'll see your thought process will definitely be a lot clearer, especially if you're doing writing and stuff like that. Any particular whey protein? No, you know what, find something you like. I mean, I usually work with a blend of concentrate and isolate. I find it tastes a little bit better, a little more cost effective. 24 to 25 grams of scoop for protein per scoop is what I look for. 3 to 6 grams of carbs is no big deal. 2 of those, 8 ounces of water, half a cup of raw oatmeal, blend that up. And I do chocolate protein, so I like that chocolate. Kind of gives it the oatmeal cookie flavor when I throw it in the oatmeal and stuff like that, so it's kind of nice. But change it up. I'll do banana, I'll do vanilla and stuff. So, but in the morning, I just like that chocolate. That's one of my big things. When I'm not on my nutrition, I get that craving for chocolate. So I find the chocolate protein really helps offset that pretty good. So we're walking every day, Monday through Sunday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're stopping every 5 minutes and doing the 5 push-ups and the 5 squats. And then we're having that smoothie. The next thing I like people to do is start a food exercise journal. So just a notebook, like I was showing you before. I've got this notebook here, and start it every day. Yeah, you know what? You do that for a couple of days, you'll see a big difference and stuff for sure. And let me know. Give me some feedback on that. And in that food journal, you can write the day's date. And then on the right side, you write your food. And on the left side, write your exercise. Hey, at the beginning, it's not going to have a lot of content, but it's the habit of starting to do it and seeing the progress. And then as you go and look at a little further into your nutrition, it's a really good habit to write down what you're eating. When you see it, you start calculating some of your things. And then you start realizing where you're starting to go wrong with what you're taking. The wrong time, the wrong amount of carbs, too many carbs, not enough protein, not enough good fats, and you start dialing that in, and that starts to make a big difference. And the whole point when I work this with people the first 7 days, like I'm doing with you, it's really just to get the ball rolling, get some success. You know, every day you do it, it's a sense of accomplishment. Physically, you're going to feel better because you know you got the energy system's being primed, and you're burning more fat. You're starting to burn fat. Your adrenaline's going, and you just feel up. You get the endorphins, which is the feel-good hormones going on in your brain once you do a little bit of physical activity. So let's build on that. Build on that daily success, and then next thing you know, week 2, week 3, you're going to want to start adding stuff because you're going to be able to, but you're already set for it. And then next thing you know, 30 days goes by, and you're not overwhelmed. Right? You didn't sit there and say, I got to do 3-hour workouts every day to get started. It's ridiculous. You know, start off with the easy walk, start off with getting off a little earlier, start off with adding the 5 push-ups and squats every 5 minutes on the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then the food journal. Absolutely, right? Walk and smoothie, great way to start, right? And it's not intimidating, right? Because right off the bat, that's the first thing you're saying. I can do that, absolutely. And you know, when you look back on your little journal and you see you've done it for 7 days, that shit feels pretty good overall, right? Because then you look back and you see success and you see progress. And that's the other thing that's important. Set those small targets. We sit there and say, hey, you know, I'm 47 and I want to lose 60 pounds. Well, that's a great big target. But the problem is that's pretty far off in the distance and it's hard to stay motivated or not intimidated by that. So start off with small targets. We call them 50-meter objectives and stuff, where you turn around and say, hey, today I'm going to walk and then I'm going to do this. Absolutely. Absolutely. So do this for a week and you're going to start to feel empowered and you're going to start to have some confidence, and you go from there, right? And that's a big difference. The other thing I like about the journal too, and I tell all my people this, is that you've got all these apps on the phone and stuff, and I'm not a big fan of that, especially starting out of the gate. What I like about the journal is that you physically see something. You physically have something that's going to remind you that, hey, you've got stuff to do, you're working on something. It becomes more front of mind. So it's a very powerful mind trick and stuff to see it over there. It just anchors the fact that you're doing something overall. I mean, I have a nice journal. It's a leather-bound journal, and I change the insert every time I fill it. Makes a big difference. Yeah, the hard copy is the way to go for sure. Hey, David, what's up, brother? Good to see you again, man. Thanks for joining. So get that going. And then the other thing I want to do, good to see you, man. It's been a while. Yeah, I see you've been on a bit. I'm trying to hit this every day and stuff, so just doing my thing. I'm trying to Periscope every day, so been doing some early morning stuff and some nighttime training stuff. My last one I was benching 405 on the incline, so I shot that whole thing. The other thing I'm doing too is that Periscope will only hang on to your videos for 24 hours, but just finished one 2 seconds ago. Oh shit, I'll go check it out after for sure, David, absolutely. I'm automatically have them saved to my phone and I'm uploading into my YouTube. So if you miss it, you can go back and check my YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel, got to go catch you? Yeah, I'll try to catch you on the 405. It was on the incline though, so it was pretty good. I actually hit 425. Check out the video. So on my YouTube, my name, if you look under my information, is Kurt Haas. And if you search YouTube for Kurt Haas, you'll see one of the playlists I run now is called the SilverBack Blueprint, sorry. And I have these talks and I show some different things that we're doing, and I'll be adding more of the basic exercise routines to it as well too, so it'll be pretty cool. And then the only other thing I want you guys to add to that is I want you to weigh yourself on Mondays. Oh, is that what you're saying? Okay, cool. Catch me where it saves your scopes forever. Oh, okay, cool. I'll check that out. I thought you were giving me a hard time about the benching and stuff. So, strong, not too smart. That's cool. Right on, man. Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely go check that out for sure, man. The weighing yourself on Mondays, really good way just to keep yourself accountable and see how the progress is going. Don't do it any more than that, because again, that itself becomes stressful, and by doing it at the same time every week, you get to see the wholesale change of how your body's changing overall, not day to day. Yeah, you know what? I mean, especially, you know, if you get that mindset where you're worried and you're weighing yourself 2 or 3 times a day between meals and taking a shit, you're going to have different weight. So we use it as a tool. We do it as once a week just to see how progress is going. Yeah, that's crazy when they weigh themselves daily. It's a bad habit, man. It's a bad habit. You should weigh each other on Monday and then hide the scale for the rest of the week. You know, I've had people who do that. I've had people who get rid of their scales at home and only weigh themselves on Monday when they come into Hostyle, my training facility, before their workout to see how they're doing. Love the shirt, kettlebells. I saw a kettlebell design with the head of a gorilla on it. Joe Rogan? Yeah, over on it. They have it. They have zombies as well. They have different weights, have different things. This is the logo we have for our facility, Hostyle Conditioning. So you see it's on my hat. It's there. It's up on my shorts. I don't know if you can see it on my shorts. So yeah, Joe Rogan's got some cool shit and stuff like that for sure. Kettlebells is a big part of our workout. I just, part of my morning ritual, I do a 10-minute workout in between meditation and visualization. So this morning actually was a 10-minute kettlebell grind where I did some kettlebell cleans, some kettlebell squats, left and right, and did a 10-minute grind for that. Curd Haas, C-U-R-D-H-O-S. Curd like the cheese. I know, it's pretty funny. And Haas, H-O-S. That's why the name of my facility is called Hostyle Conditioning. My style of doing stuff. So I incorporate kettlebells, bodyweight stuff, powerlifting. I'm a competitive powerlifter. I compete in the bench press. What type of meditation do I do? Right now, I usually just for 5 minutes. Thanks, man. For 5 minutes, I just try to close everything off and just focus on my breathing, breathe in and long exhale. And then I try to not to have too many thoughts come in my head. It's definitely something I'm learning to do. David will tell you, he's a yoga guy, so he'll tell you how important that meditation stuff is as well too. And that's a big part, just quieting the mind. My nationality, well, I'm Canadian, but my old man's originally from Austria. Yeah, my mom was French, so like German, French, Yeah, that's right. Yoga, meditation. That's what Dave's all about. Check his stuff out. Follow him if you're interested in that kind of stuff. Follow David and his stuff. It's pretty cool. You know what? And the big thing, the reason why I like doing my ritual early in the morning, 4:30, is because it's the quietest time of day. And you know, because the moment the kids get up and the moment, you know, things start happening and I get to work or the emails start coming in, you don't have any time for yourself anymore. So that hour that I work on is very much to prime myself for the day. And the mornings where I don't do it, I had a crazy weekend. On Saturday we ran a powerlifting meet at my facility, and on Sunday I drove to Montreal to give a bench demo. Awesome. Hey, well, listen, great. Good guys to follow for sure. And any questions, you'll see in my profile, I actually have my direct email in there. If you have any questions, send me an email. I help anybody out. I'm big on giving back and stuff. And at the end of the day, you know, I'm 47 and I know what it's like to be halfway through the pipeline, and it's all about the quality. Oh, cool, man. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I think we talked a bit about some of the stuff you're into as well, David. Yeah, kurthaas@gmail.com. Pretty simple. Hey, Neil, nice to meet you, brother. Excellent, man. Yeah, listen, anything I can help you with, for sure, help me out. You know, I'll help you out and stuff. You know, I want to spread the word. I appreciate the hearts. The Periscope thing is new for me. I used to do a lot of video. I used to actually have a podcast. I'm looking to fire that back up. And, you know, it's always about, I'm just about, you know, getting that 18-year-old back to the front and being able to move better, feel better, you know, and take care of business, you know what I mean, when we want to. So it's pretty cool overall. And again, it's just about the quality of life, right? We get to a point where we have time and money to do stuff and our bodies won't let us do it, and our self-esteem and confidence take a hit because of that. The morning brew, I love it. I think that's a great idea for sure. For sure. Well, listen, guys, I really appreciate it. And like I said, those are the 7 stops. Well, you know what happens, you know, Neil, is lackadaisical and stuff like that. It's just life got in the way. We got focused on our families, our businesses, our careers, you know, that kind of stuff. And we started taking the back step and stuff. You know, for me as a power lifter, I've been in the fitness and health and fitness industry for 25 years. So my identity is the bench press, right? I've competed, you know, for 25 years off and on, won a bunch of national titles and stuff, you know. I do some CrossFit type stuff overall, but I'm more worried about mobility issues for people that don't have the shoulder and the thoracic hip mobility for that stuff. So our training is done more with kettlebells, which allows that, and we work on building people's mobility and functionality again so they can do more aggressive workouts overall. So we want to get people coming in to see us that have bad backs and mobility issues, and we want to fix that so they can go and do different types of training and stuff, right? So that's why I got my start as in powerlifting. So back then I was, you know, big into powerlifting, but I drank a shit ton of beer and focused on business. And next thing you knew, I weighed 400 pounds and I couldn't go up a set of stairs. And I was in the fitness industry. So I had an epiphany about 7 years ago. I said, this has got to change. Started having kettlebells. Actually, I sold kettlebells for 4 years before I actually ever used one. And then one of my buddies came in and said, hey, right now I'm about 315, 320, and I'm working that down to 275 is the plan anyway, overall. So a buddy came in and said, hey, let's do a little workout. He knew I started to do some of these body weight workouts, and we hit the kettlebells, and I think like 7 minutes into it, I was done. And I fell in love with it. I love the functionality. I love the fact it was tough mentally. Absolutely, man. You gotta do it. You gotta hit that rock bottom and stuff like that. And it's in anything. I don't care if it's in booze, if it's in sex, if it's in gambling. Neil comes from that background, the industry and stuff, or just our own, you know, way of life and stuff. We got to hit that and then build back up. And that's where I want to help guys over 40 is let me help you guys build that back up. That's our whole thing, right? That's what we're all about. 90% of my clientele is 40 and over, 50s and 60s. I got some younger guys and girls that get their shit, you know, together, and they like the way we train. We're pretty good at what we do. But as a majority, you walk into my facility, most classes, you know, moms and dads just, you know, looking to get better and stuff. So the problem is because we put ourselves second for so much that when we need to step up, or we get to the point where we are more successful and more established, we want to start doing things and we just can't physically and mentally and emotionally. So my whole thing is, how do we start reinvesting in ourselves, time, energy, and dollars, but now to start to get that quality of life going and stuff like that, you know? Either pick it up or lose what I have physically. Absolutely, man. Rock Rider, you got this, bro. Crawl before you can walk and walk before you crawl. Beautiful. And that's exactly it, 1 stone at a time. In fact, that's our motto, 1 rep at a time. There's always 1 more rep, right? So if you've done 9, there's going to be a 10th. If you're at 2 and you think you're finished, there's a 3rd one. And for us, our whole thing is we work on effort, right? If 2 is the most push-ups you can do, I'm impressed, and I love that, and I'm motivated. I want to help you. If you can do 10 and you do 5, then that's no good either. We need to push that. I just did that 10-minute kettlebell workout where it was 5 cleans right, 5 catcher squats, 5 cleans left with a 24-kilo kettlebell. And I said 10 minutes, and mentally I said, I'm going to try and get 6-7 rounds out of this because the cardio kicked my ass off. And when I got to 7, I had 90 seconds left, and I pushed to get that 8th round in. You know, big difference. Fell off the treadmill, got right back up. That's awesome. That's a t-shirt, right? We all fall. No, we all don't get back up. We need to add the treadmill. You know what? At the end of the day, the embarrassment part, I mean, that's one of the things that holds a lot of guys back, you know, is the fact that they really feel, you know, like everyone's watching them. And at the end of the day, dude, most people don't even give a shit. You know, someone who laughs, they're an idiot anyway. That is a t-shirt. That's right. You know, so it is about getting back up and doing it. Even getting back on the Periscope and stuff like that. The mental struggle, absolutely. Absolutely. It's the biggest factor. It's the biggest factor I run into with people and myself. That's the thing. There's days where I'm tired and I just don't want to do it. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll do it tomorrow. But, you know, I've got a lot of progress, so I want to have another day of progress. And then I have to remind myself how good I feel after I do this. Right? It makes a big difference. And some days, guys, that is the battle. It's between the ears. It's the distance between the ears. It's the greatest distance. What's my timeline for my target weight? I'm trying to get down, you know, at 315. I want to try and get there by February, March. You know, 8 to 10 pounds per month overall. I'm just getting back into my competitive season of powerlifting, so I'm putting a little more muscle back on. But really, it's about tightening up and stuff. I've got a lady that I'm training, and we've made a deal. She can't afford some of the personal training that we're doing and stuff, so I made a deal where she'll actually prepare my meals, and I'll train her a couple times a week. So we're exchanging time for it and stuff like that, so it benefits her and it's going to benefit me so that I can sit there. My problem is I get so busy day to day that I forget to eat, or I fall back on a meal, and then next thing you know, I'm all of a sudden starving, and then I'm pulling into the wrong place to get the wrong kind of food and stuff like that, right? That's why that smoothie in the morning makes a big difference for me as well, because by stabilizing my blood sugars and getting me some energy first thing in the morning, it's much smoother for me to operate, and then it's a lot easier for me to stay on top of it. Yeah, you know what? That's a big thing. Absolutely. You know, time is just as valuable as money and stuff like that. My smoothies, I keep them pretty simple right now. We put 50 grams of protein in for the guys, and then I put in half a cup of raw oatmeal for a good low, slow-burning carb source on that. In the winter, I'll add more veggie greens, or I'll add phyto berries and stuff in there overall. I have more of a detailed smoothie that I'll make right now, but again, to get people started, I don't want to overwhelm them, so I want them getting just some protein and oatmeal for sure. Get whey and oatmeal for the smoothie, that's it. You know, there's all kinds of health food stores around, stuff like that. Try to get some samples, find something that tastes good. You know, keep it in the water. I find it's easier in the water, and then I'm not a big fan of milk. It's just modern milk is just not what it's cracked up to be. I heard of master amino acid pattern. No, I haven't heard of that. Is that where you manipulate your protein intake to hit certain types of levels of your aminos throughout the day? Absolutely, Neil. Listen, start off with that, and listen, I'm going to be on podcasting every day. When you see them on there, jump on and just give me a heads up how you're doing and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember you saying that you're a vegan and stuff like that. So that's the challenging part for vegans, right? Is to get the complete protein sources, because you miss out a bit. So yeah, so working with some aminos and stuff, pre-digested makes it easier to digest for sure, better bioavailability, and then manipulating some of your amino intake to compensate for what's missing that you're not getting in some of the other protein sources out there. Yeah, absolutely. You know, my biggest caution to vegetarians is just get complete proteins in. If you have to supplement with the aminos like David's talking about, that's a great way to do it and stuff. I have some guys that are later. Talk to you soon, Neil. I'll check in with me tomorrow. Let me know how that walk went tomorrow. Okay, go get some protein, get set up. Okay, so again, if you want to go vegan, you can get a hemp protein or a rice protein and do it, man. Yeah, so again, look at the amino acid profile and stuff like that. One thing I'll get a lot of vegans to do when they start hitting the weights, I will let them to add BCAAs, branched chain amino acids. They're the 3 most important amino acids in the amino profile, and they're the ones that we can't actually manufacture ourselves. So by taking them in an extra, they make a big difference in your protein synthesis, so you'll maximize your muscle recovery overall. So again, when I deal with vegetarians and stuff, or guys that are just not getting the protein in their diet, I'll add my book just folded over, sorry. I'll have them add the branched chain amino acids to get more complete protein intake. So, but anyway, listen guys, oh, and I meant to say, Dave, I like your morning brew idea. I like the way you spin off your last name. Same like me with Hostyle. Host is my last name. Yeah, net nutrition utilization is a factor. They'll also look at, there's a bioavailability scale as well too that ranks up into the 100%. The higher on that scale, the better it is and stuff. The better absorbed and the more complete the protein is. So that's another scale that you can use. Bottom line is, by using any of those coefficients, it just helps you to fill the gaps and make sure you're getting that A, amount of protein you need, and B, the right profile so that your body can maximize what it does. In the absorption stuff. So basically net nutrition utilization, so basically nitrogen, sorry, what we want to do is stay in a positive nitrogen balance, right? So what happens by taking protein in consistently in enough amounts, your body, one of the byproducts of digesting protein is it provides nitrogen in the bloodstream. And when nitrogen's in your bloodstream, that's when your body can actually build muscle tissue overall. So yeah, looking at those things, anything that can help moderate that and to keep that nutrition, your nitrogen level up is going to make a big difference overall for sure. So, you know, I don't like to get caught up too much on what sources of protein to use. I just want to see people use a good source of protein that they like. To me, when people ask me what the best source of protein is, the best sort of protein is for you to find the one that you're going to like and it's going to fit your lifestyle and you're going to take consistently. Thanks. Yeah, I'm smart with a couple of things. Yeah, protein. I've been doing supplements and that kind of business now for over 20 years, so I've done a lot of it. We had our own supplement line at one time. We're looking at bringing it back as well. So I'll get into the story one day too of how just even on the business level of all the different things I've done and sort of how Hostyle is sort of not just the rebuilding of my body, but also about rebuilding of my business as well and stuff like that too. So that'll be another good podcast to do down the line. Right now, I just want to build some followers, guys that are interested in talking about ways just to get physically stronger and mentally tougher as well, and just build a good community of like-minded individuals. And you know, I'd like to share my knowledge and help as many people as I can. And you know, just when you surround yourself with like-minded individuals, you'll do better. You hear the power of 5 all the time, right? Absolutely, absolutely. You know what? If that product is something that you like and it's got the markers that you need and it follows as a vegan, you want to stay within a vegan lifestyle, then absolutely, right? If you sit there and you're going to try and get all your protein sources from lentils and stuff, I'll be honest, you're going to have a hard time getting all your protein in your amino acid profile. So if there's other vegan proteins out there that are working to maintain a higher net nitrogen level, then by all means you should be using it. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the key. Like I said, for me, the most important protein, the best protein is the one that's going to fit your lifestyle and get you to the point where you enjoy taking it 1, 2, or 3 times a day, depending what else you're doing. I want to see you eat whole foods as well, too. But I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care. I just want to see you get those protein levels up. How much do you weigh right now, David? I know you're a pretty fit guy because I saw you on your last podcast. You were down by the lake where they were building a house for you there. Because as a rule, 145 pounds, yeah, you're lean and mean, brother. So what I would do is I would try to make sure that you're taking, especially if you're pretty physically active, and yoga, man, that beats up the body as well, too. You're working a lot of muscle in that. I would definitely be aiming for at least 1 gram per pound. So if you're 145, I'd be aiming for at least 140 to 150 grams of protein a day. Not just in your shakes, but definitely throughout the day. But just think, if you can take 20 to 40 grams of protein first thing in the morning, you've made a big jump to getting into that, right? Protein's got a lot of importances, right? It maintains. You put weight on in India. Well, that's pretty impressive. Not a lot of people put a lot of butter chicken. I was just about to say, not a lot of people put weight on in India. Good for you, buddy. Well, good for you on that weight loss. I mean, especially, you know, if you were 188 and you had a lot of fat, you know, fat is inefficient and you can't flex fat and it doesn't help you do your stuff, right? So, at 400 pounds down to 310, 315, I move a lot better and I feel a lot better. My joints feel a lot better. I mean, it makes a big difference, right? So at 275, my whole goal is not to lose muscle tissue, but to maximize getting leaner so I'm better functional. Chicken legs and small arms with the gut in the middle. Oh, buddy, I see it all the time. I see it all the time. And even me, like at 315, I'm thick through the arms and the shoulders and the chest and big legs from all the lifting I do. But I got the keg on. You know, my keg is a lot smaller, but it's there. Guys, that's where we store the body fat, right in the gut. From behind, you can see a guy who looks normal, turns around, he's got this gut sticking out 1.5 feet hanging over his belt. Some crazy shit there. So the key is to tighten that up, and that's fantastic that you did it. And, you know, how you feel now is amazing. Yeah, that's cool on the smaller keg. That's part of it, man. That's part of it. You know, I gave up drinking, actually, it's a year ago in a couple of days, and that was one of the reasons. It was too easy for me. I wasn't a one beer guy. I was a many beer guy. So a lot of calories. Alcohol suppresses fat burning, and if your body's busy trying to filter alcohol, the liver can't process anything else, so it makes a big difference. Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, on your next podcast, man, do it before and after, and make sure you invite me. I'll check it out. So, yeah, not drinking makes a big difference, man. Yeah. Yeah, some people have wine and stuff like that, or they'll have one drink and they're good that way. I've never been that way, so I finally said that's enough, and I gave it up for good. Big difference, big quality of life difference, savings-wise. I mean, like, when I say I could pound back the beer, I could pound back the beer. So that's saving me hundreds of dollars a month, if not more, and actually saving me a lot of lost time and stuff like that. You know, the hangovers aren't there, so you get a lot more done. Not as foggy in the morning and stuff, so it makes a big difference overall. So... And it's all about the small battles, right? If you look at my journal, I write down how many days sober, and I just keep building on that. So when I had 2, you know, it was a little daunting. Now that I've got 360 some, you know, now you got momentum, that kind of stuff. So anyway, guys, I'm going to shut it down now. I got some running around to do. Again, this will be up on YouTube. I'll check out that Catch Me that you talked about. The hangover is never worth it. Well, not at our age anymore. Not anymore. When we were younger, maybe, and stuff like that, because of all that entailed with it and stuff like that. Emphasis on tail. But no, not anymore, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's other ways to have a good time, and you just have to learn that. And that's been the biggest thing for me, is learning how to have a lot of fun without getting a bunch of pops in me first and stuff like that, right? So it's all good. It's all positive and stuff, and that's a big thing. And like I said, Dave, really good talking to you. I'm going to check that Catch Me thing out as well. And those of you that are watching this on a replay, check out my YouTube video under Kurt Haas, and my YouTube channel, sorry, and you can see a bunch of the other ones that we've done in the meantime. So I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for all the hearts, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.